Her soft answer turns away wrath, but vicious words stir up anger. The tongue of the wise uses knowledge rightly, but the mouth of fools pours forth foolishness. Proverbs 15:1. In a small village nestled among rolling hills lived a wise woman named Mrs. Evelyn. She was known far and wide for her gentle nature and the peace she brought to those around her. Mrs. Evelyn had lived a life full of experiences, and she often shared her wisdom with the young people around her. One day, an argument broke out in the village market. Two merchants, Mr. Davis and Mr. Reed, started shouting at each other. The shouting grew louder as the argument escalated. Soon, the market was in chaos. Passing by, Mrs. Evelyn and her granddaughter Carla noticed Mr. Davis's face, red with anger, and Mr. Reed with his tightly clenched fists, ready to fight. Without hesitation, Mrs. Evelyn stepped between the two men. In a calm voice, she said,
"Gentlemen, this market has always been a place of peace and prosperity. Let's not tarnish it with anger. I can see you're upset, but let's resolve this calmly."
Mr. Davis, surprised by her peaceful demeanor, took a deep breath and said,
"But he..."
Mrs. Evelyn raised her hand slightly, signaling him to pause.
"I understand there may be a misunderstanding, but if we allow anger to guide our words, we could say things we regret. Let's take a moment to cool our heads and speak with kindness."
Mr. Reed, who had been ready to lash out, suddenly felt his anger dissolve. He looked at Mrs. Evelyn as she smiled warmly at him, and then at Mr. Davis, who now seemed less agitated. Lowering his fists, he said,
"Perhaps you're right. I guess we could talk it out."
Realizing their anger could have led to disaster, the men calmed down, talked it out, and before long the tension lifted. The gentle words of Mrs. Evelyn had subsided their anger. Soon the market returned to the usual hustling and bustling. Later that day, under the shade of a large oak tree, Mrs. Evelyn sat down with her granddaughter Carla. She had witnessed the scene at the market and asked,
"Grandma, how did you calm those men down? They were so angry."
Mrs. Evelyn smiled and replied,
"Carla, there is great power in the words we choose to speak. The Bible teaches us that a gentle answer turns away wrath, but harsh words can stir up anger. What we say or do reveals whether we are wise or foolish, and can either bring blessings or curses into our lives."
Carla listened intently as her grandmother continued,
"You see, my dear, good manners and kindness are like keys that open doors to many opportunities, and will help us gain friends and favor, no matter where we go. But if we speak harshly or act with anger, we close those doors and limit our success."
Well, isn't it hard to stay calm when someone is being rude or unfair?
It can be, but remember, the difference between being hot-tempered and having a calm demeanor often determines our success in life. Fools are quick to lash out, but the wise think before they speak. They know words have the power to heal or to harm.
Carla thought about this for a moment, then said,
So, by treating others the way we want to be treated, we can create a better world, right?
Smiling, Mrs. Evelyn said,
Exactly. When we show kindness and patience, even in the face of anger, we bring peace to those around us. And in the end, everyone benefits.
As Carla watched the sun sink beneath the horizon, a deep sense of calm settled over her. She knew the lessons from her grandmother would stay with her, lighting her way through life. Those gentle words had made such an impression that she marveled at how they had quelled the men's anger and brought peace to the bustling market. She vowed to carry the same peace into her own journey, knowing this was her guide to wisdom and success.